Tom, congratulations on the new deal. It's great to lock your future away here at the Cattery.
Yeah, it is. Extremely fortunate to be in the town that I've spent a lot of my life in, and that my kids and my wife have spent all of their lives in. So very, very thankful, and to be on the journey with this club is something that I'm extremely proud of, and can't wait for the next 4 years.
When you're so committed to the club, what's it like negotiating a sort of a longer-term contract?
No, it was very, very easy. There wasn't many negotiations back and forth. Obviously, the club was keen to extend me, and I was never going anywhere. So it was a very simple formality to get the job done, and obviously the length of time that I'm extending for is something that I'm really pleased with, and I'm extremely proud to continue to play for Geelong.
So yesterday, Patrick Dangerfield responded on social media to your re-signing, saying he thinks you're the best defender in the comp, and over the next few years you might become the best defender ever.
He's an idiot. I try and steer clear of Pat on social media. He says some pretty outlandish things, particularly on Twitter. So I'm extremely humbled to hear that from him. But my job is to just play the best footy I can for this footy club. I came in a lot older at 23, 24, and I've been extremely thankful to play with some amazing players that brought my output up. They made me a better person, a better player. The Harry Taylors, Joel Selwoods, Danger, Tom Hawkins, they make you want to be the best player you possibly can. So I'm just happy to be here and to be playing my role, and everything that comes with that is just an added bonus.
Pat obviously believes that not only you're at the top of your game right now, but maybe you can get better. Do you agree with that?
I think I can get a lot more flexible in my role. I think being subject to some midfield minutes last year and some change in that sort of things is something that's going to only strengthen my game, to be able to go up around the ball and win the ball at the source and help at the forward half of the ground is something that is new to me, but I'm really open to whatever the club needs me to do and the role that I'm sort of seen fit.
Where do you think the Cats will be at the end of your contract? How do you see the future of the club?
Well, hopefully a few more premierships. It's all I've ever known as a player. The club sets it up every year that we're going to put ourselves out there to contend. We don't go back to the well and say we're going on the draft and these sort of things. So we want to be at the pointy end every single year, and that's what my expectations are of this group, of myself, is to continue to evolve and grow and try and be the best player I can that's going to help these boys be the best player they can. One
of the young blokes who's come in, Ollie Wiltshire's followed a similar path to you. How have you found him on the track so far? He's
been fantastic. It's sort of strange to look at a young man that's followed a similar path to myself and Tom Atkins and Blitz, who have had alternate ways to come into the AFL system. But he's been brilliant, as have all the young boys. They've come in with a real hunger, and he's very raw, but he's got some amazing attributes that are going to really help us going forward, it's exciting.
What is it about the club culture about being able to develop these guys who have come from non-traditional pathways, such as obviously yourself coming through the GFL, but Ollie in the VFL, and Tom Atkins at St Joseph's as well?
I think we've got such a rich region of football talent down here that Wellesley and Mac do such a great job at getting first eyes to and first access to. So obviously the recruiting stories are really pleasing, but the work that goes in behind the scenes is absolutely enormous, as it is at most clubs. So once they get in here, they're no different to myself or Pat or Hawk. They're a Cats player, and they've come in with just great hunger to be the best that they can be, and we'll nurture that as leaders, as players, and as staff to make them the best player they can be. So everybody's on the exact same level once we get into the club. It doesn't matter what your story is, and I think that's the most pleasing thing.
Sean's another one that's come through a non-traditional path through the VFL and his time at Werribee. How's he sort of been in his first AFL pre-season?
Yeah, he's been really impressive. It's funny because you call all the draftees when they first get drafted, and you speak to 18-year-olds, and their head's spinning, and they're like, "Oh, it's amazing! How good is this?" And myself and Sean just chatted for about 10 minutes. It was just like another mate that I've sort of played footy with for a long time. So it's really pleasing to see a number of those stories coming through now. I feel like every time I see them, it makes me smile a little bit more, because blokes just don't miss out anymore. If you're a consistently good footballer, you're probably going to get a chance in AFL list, and I think that's extremely pleasing.
A few injuries at the back half of the season. It looks like everyone's tracking well at the moment. How reassuring is it going into pre-season next year that after Christmas that everyone will be back to full training?
Yeah, I think it's something that the conditioning staff's been really on top of this off-season, is maintaining that health, and it means our quality of training is just so much better. You know, when you can get 18v18 full-length drills, it really means the harmony and the flow of the drills aren't interrupted when you're trying to chase out numbers and those sort of things. But we know full well that some older boys are probably going to get pulled in and out of training, and that's their prerogative because they probably own the right to. But I can't fault the condition nor the attitude that the boys have come back with, and that's from the top down. Some of the young boys have been absolutely super impressive with the condition and the footballing nous that they've come back with, which is really pushing us along at the top end, and some of the boys at the back end of their career, which is all we ask of them. We just want to be hungry, competitive, and just have that drive to be the best they can be every day. It's very cliche, but they've actually led the way from the front, those young boys, and I've been really, really pleased with their output.
You mentioned, Tom, being better known is to contend at Geelong, but obviously last season was an exception to that. So have you noticed any difference in the mentality of the players or the way this pre-season has been so far off the back of a season where you weren't able to be able to point in?
I think for myself personally, it was just it's obviously not what you want to miss out on finals, but it was a really good opportunity just to refresh, to take stock and really double down on what we value as a football club. We were no way at all pleased with the way we finished or the patches that we had last year, and we accepted that from the playing group, from the coaching staff, from the conditioning staff, that we needed to sharpen up a bit. So I think the reflection piece was massive for me, just to sit back and understand what makes this club such a great club. And I think that's been well led, as I said, from the young boys coming back a couple of weeks earlier. The way they presented, it was almost like, sharpen up, shine off the boots and let's just get to work. Because there's no special formula. It's just about getting the work in, getting the reps in, and that's the most pleasing thing, I think, for a senior player and a leader, is just to see the boys that are just keen to get after it.
You spoke about leadership. Do you hope to be Geelong captain within the life of this next contract?
I was actually just talking to Pat outside, and even to be mentioned in that conversation is something that I'm extremely proud of. Whatever role I play, whether it's captain, vice captain, leadership group, not even in it, I'm still just so grateful to be in that conversation. I never believed that would come my way, but if it does, I won't even think about it now, because I think Pat's such a fantastic leader of this group, and to sit alongside him and work with him on a day-to-day basis is something that I never even dreamt of, to be honest with you. But if the club and the playing group see me fit, then I'll just give it my absolute all, and I'll try and do my absolute best. We've been so lucky over such a long time to have so many strong leaders, and if it comes my way, I've got so many people that I can lean on to help me on that journey.
Was there ever a stage when you were playing local footy that you thought that the AFL, you'd never get there?
Right up until the day I got drafted. It was a far-fetched dream for a long period of my South Barn, even my junior career, and to be in this position and to at the end of this contract have a 12-year career it's nothing I could have ever dreamt of.
What was the life plan for you if it wasn't footy? Where would you be?
I was a chippy, yeah. So I was just a tradie, just going about my business, and it seems like a lifetime ago, almost an eternity, and a lot's changed since then. I'm a father of two, and been in the system almost a decade, so it's fairly crazy.
Will you go back to it?
Oh, no. No, I sold the tools the day I got drafted, so nice little cash injection, and I'll hopefully never have to go back.